Hey, what's up? My name is Sam. I'm a French Canadian developer of 28 years old. I've been freelancing since about 10 years and coding specifically in Solidity and Python since about 7 years. I've been on Freelancer and Upwork. I'm currently back on Upwork because I think the offer, the contracts, the people are just more serious, and I kind of prefer all the I never have problem or I'm never disappointed with Upwork, except that the in comparison of freelancer. I decided to record a session contract that I have because I see lots of founder on Telegram and build community. Did I say Telegram? I meant Twitter X, sorry. And I just feel like programming and freelancing is a big part of my life, and I want to share how I do, and also since the AI entered our life, I think my job is more easy to scale to in time, especially. I feel like I'm saving a lot of time using AI. But I kinda have an issue right now with all the cursor and other IDE as I think Replit, which I actually downloaded days ago. Like Replit and cursor, I feel weird about it because some issue I have, let's say with ChatGPT, because I use ChatGPT, I pay for it, and it's fabulous. The how it helped my life in general, for random question or anything. And for coding, it's very practical. But what I'm facing most of the time is as a coder, I can understand the code and I can understand some logic or issues that's happening in a code. And I feel ChatGPT is very prone to error and some subtleties, either in logic or even coding itself, that might not be catch by someone that doesn't understand code. And my issue with cursor and stuff like that, like I just downloaded VS Code a month ago. I was using Sublime Text, and it's very more productive. I love the editor, and as I said, I pay for ChatGPT, which really helped in my life. But like, why would I pay for Cursor more money? Because they basically use ChatGPT or another model. Let's be honest. Even if they have their own model trained for coding, like it's just the way you prompt things. You're gonna still, in my opinion, you're gonna still face coding and logics issue from the result and files created by, let's say, Cursor or stuff like that. So I just want to showcase that I can actually work very fast without paying for another AI service, which bother me. So the project, the project I want to record is basically I got hired to scan the Telegram channel with trades, which seems to be binary option on Quotex, which is a non-available exchange binary option, I guess, exchange not available in my country because of regulation probably. So the customer want to, on each message like that, I want to extract the data of that, and I want to put on an order on Quotex. Either I guess binary option, the way it works is you start a trade until that time, and it's either a short or a long. My customer also mentioned that when a trade fail, what they do is basically casino martingale style. They start with $10. If it failed, they redo the order, but with $20 and $40, and most of the time they got it working the third time. I do not have any opinion about that, but what I want to do today is to achieve this job as a freelancer. So, see, that's interesting. This messages first gal to gal. That's the double up thing. I'm already trying. See, I didn't use ChatGPT still, and I'm still trying as a coder to see how I could achieve this given the current format of the message. What I'm seeing is that we have a time zone, we have a minute expiracy, we have a symbol, a time, and a direction, I guess. I'm trying to find another example that's not a put. Okay, so what? See, he's all doing puts. It's a bit stupid when you consider it's a martingale and he's only doing one direction. So we have one data, two data, three, four, five data. I don't want to say something about this, but probably this might be added while during the trade. I'll join the channel and see if there is other trade coming in later today, so I can better understand the initial format of it. Like if this is present in the message, and is the first, second, and I think third gal is added during the trade or at some point after the message. I'm also gonna look up about binary option and like see how Cortex API would let me set an order for. Is it like that's the start time and this is the duration? Can I do longer trades? Like this is concept that I'm not familiar to related to Cortex and binary option. I know trading and I know binary option itself, like the big lines of it. But okay. So first, I had this old code in my old computer that was mostly doing the same thing. It was extracting trades in another channel. It was also saving Telegram stuff, Telegram related configuration, looping. This was the idea of the group, which I remember I fought with the owner of it. He was not happy. He was saying that I was using a bot, but that was not that bot. It was not able to detect it. It was impossible. Good memories. So we have database here. In each trade were inserted. We also have some. If this thing is in the content of the message, it means it's a stop loss alert and blah 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 blah. I don't know why there is a return true is because if something is not detected. Okay. If it's detected, we just don't continue. Was other stuff here? Detection if it's soft, hard, leverage, position, swing, blah blah blah. Wow. That was replacing each occurrence of paradise into gainings, which was most likely to be resold on another group. This was the main loop. I think. Here you go. You got the name of the group. So this function I think was listing all the chat available to the user, and we were getting most likely the group ID by name. This is authentication to Telegram by phone. So this is a bit old code, but it should be still reliable the way it interact with Telegram. Yeah, so that's basically 300 lines of code that were used for similar use case of what the customer is looking. It was using Teleton and the Telegram client API, most likely. I think it's called like that. Also using Telegram Send, which is a simple library that make it easy to send message on Telegram. Uh, Send message. Yeah, and Telegram Send have a configuration in the system, so you can create configs for each group. Or it's not necessarily needed in our case. Actually, there is better alternative too. You could just use Teleton itself or other bot stuff. But anyway, so what I want and what's gonna prove that AI is gonna help me is I want to use that code that I've written probably 2 years ago, and I want to give it to ChatGPT. I also put him in context of we have a new project as a programmer. Customer want to listen a Telegram channel for a specific format of messages, extract data, proceed each message as straight on Cortex. I have this code on my phone and my computer, and we're using for something related. I'm gonna add more context to it because I think it's important due to the nature of that I don't know a lot about binary option. We are going to fetch binary option signals, I think, and I want to have a better understanding on the way it works as well. Cortex API would work in that specific case. Let's call my old computer. So here's the code. I also dropped one of the trade. I ask if he can properly reformat the code, update anything in his opinion if need to be improved or changed. I also said I would like to input the channel, probably by name. Um, yeah, so the identifier of the chat, which in that case would be like Magic Trader signals. What I want is my customer to input Magic Trader signals and start listening message to it. I don't remember if there was some past for getting past messages, or it was just when the program is running. So I'll add that too. Not sure if the old code is a loop that listen since it start running or go fetch from the past. I think more appropriate given the nature of the trades and the service offering determine session time. Also, the format that maybe the messages are getting updated while in the trade. I'm referring to, let me just, because I just want to make my might be added or edited. And girls section probably 2 since it's a martingale and failed trades, they double up the bet up to 3 times. Care about it, and just enter a trade with the initial data, then just double use the Gale strategy without relying on the updates of the messages. So basically, what I'm asking in my programmer ed is, I have a code right now that was designed for this. I don't know anything about binary option, but from the group, it seems like they start a trade with data like an entry price and direction and stuff like that. And if it failed, they double. If it failed, they double, and if it failed, they stop, which is a basic martingale strategy, as I said. Uh, what I want is, on a message like this, I want to extract the data. I want to place an order on Quotex using the PyQuotex import, which I've looked up real quick. And this part, like, I was wondering, should I continuously monitor the message for it to be edited? But it doesn't really matter, because if you are in this trade and it's gonna fail at this time, because I think it's during 5 minutes, which is my understanding to binary option. You place that order, and after 5 minutes in that particular case, if you fail, you will double up, and you will double up. So at the same interval, I can try to look up. See, it's always 5 minutes. Honestly, I wonder, like, actually, it's just doesn't matter the direction. He just put puts on the symbol, and it's gonna retry it. It's gonna gamble. I don't have an opinion, a good opinion on on that strategy, but I will make it work. So the bot will not need to monitor the each trades from the Telegram group, from my understanding. So I'm just trying to format everything what's in my head. I know I'm not very clear on that. Just trying to put everything together. Sorry, but just trying to put everything together, what's in my head, and initialize it's the first message of that conversation. So I just want to take the time to do it properly, because I'm usually just throwing stuff in it. Let's try this. Let's see. So I see preserve the SQLite database, still having configuration in it, which is cool. Still using Teleton 2. I see Telegram Send still there, but I might replace it. Create a new trade if it doesn't exist. Okay, so I see it just reformatted my previous code. It didn't really took in consideration that's fetching past messages too, I think. Okay, so SQLite is retained. That's gonna be updated with the new format. Can now input the Telegram channel by name or ID. Ooh. And does not rely on future message update like the martingale. What do you mean? There is no martingale stuff. There is nothing related to. Okay, so I'll start from that. I'm just gonna go to my repo. Okay. So we're gonna create a new file. See what cursor will do is create that file directly, but okay. I think it's important to have this debate, this conversation. I've I've given a clear instruction to ChatGPT, and I have my vision in my head. I try to give as much as possible context. We can agree that if you don't understand this code, you will not able to see what's wrong, like what will need to be changed. It's not that obvious that these, let's say, are the keyword that, like, you need to understand coding. By reading this code, you will understand what does what, and which part does what, which is totally good. You can learn with Cursor and other editor like that, and it's gonna make it faster to create files and structure. I get it, but why paying for it if you can just there is even companion. I don't use them because I'm perfectly fine having a chat with ChatGPT here as a discussion, but there is free, let's say, VS Code plugins that let you plug your ChatGPT API and just pay for tokens to be able to interact in VS Code. Like, I don't see the need of creating files, and I don't know. It's I think there is free alternative to that, or you should just get used to managing your files and understanding the codes that an AI is outputting you, because it's going to create a technical debt at some point. Like, you start something, it look great, it's working in a basic manner, you have your MVP, which is fine to use AI for that. But with time and adding more functionality, if you don't understand what was done at the original point, you're going to get lost. That's my old issue with all these editors. um, so what I would like to check is if if that thing he said is gonna work. I'll try it with the name. Let's see. Oh, I remember the each messages, I think, have ID, or it's incremented in the database most likely. The group ID will be in a case the customer want to add others. Other group we could implement is a valid trade to fetch a particular way of determine the needed data for Cotex. Let's say I need to have time, instrument, direction, that stuff. If, let's say, there will be another um, groups that offer trades like this but in another format, it could be possible to code that too, and to so the customer could have multiple source of trades but still being piped to the same program and API and bot, and maybe even bankroll management helper. So I'll keep that. Of course, if there is no content, it should not be a valid trade. um, Oopsie. What I would like to is to determine if this is the first three line. I could use the emojis. I could use the first two emojis. So I'll just commit. That's my initial code. Uh, this is not needed at all. Sorry. Let's just use that like that. It sucked, but you know what? Just removing a function that's not really useful, that was replacing a string in the, like it's taking the content and replacing it, which is not used here. The main function to run. Okay, I also have question about that. If it's fetching the last 100, like how the fetching work. Since each messages have their ID, I guess fetching from the past is not an issue since it won't fetch past trades. That are already in the database, or actually it's not going to consider them as a new trade. If there is no entry in the database and is a valid trade, it's going to be considered as a trade. And here at the at this moment, what should happen is we proceed the trade most likely on exchange. We don't really need Telegram send, so I'm just gonna print the message content. Actually, yeah, this is weak a bit. Let's just return true. So if it's a valid trade which is not in the database and per the message content, we're gonna add in the database and return true. If not, we just return false. This way, I will be yeah, sure. If this yeah, so that makes sense. So for each valid trade, we're most likely gonna trade on Cotex from here. Since it's binary option, I don't think we need to monitor the orders for now. Or do I want to really integrate Cotex deep in it? And let's say, okay, I'll go check something because I remember seeing pquotex, which is a Quotex, an official library. Buy and check win. What is buy and check win? Why it's in another language? Okay. We might not want to use that part because check win buy info ID. So basically, I could store each trade ID and pair them with a message ID, and we could have a, a process of the Python program that's listening new messages, link them to a trade on PyCotex, and we could have another process that's wait for them to return result and handle the that whole martingale thing. Okay, so I will put ChatGPT in that context too. I'll just remove what I just done because I think it's gonna be appropriate to do this. So basically, I will want to remove Telegram Send for now. Actually, I'll keep it considering the customer might want to be notified. Yeah. Okay, so in my opinion, I will use this. Okay, so first I will use this to interact with P-Cortex. Please check at their documentation and implementation. About the code you just gave me, I removed the what was it? The process message content as it's not needed in that project. Then been thinking and I want a thread or process that's gonna wait for new messages, proceed them on Cortex, pair the message with the trade ID, then the listening thread continue. The trade ID, we might want to use a dedicated process to create the trade to not slow the listener one. Because I don't like in that particular group case, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of trade in a small amount of time. See, in a day, it seems they did 6 trades at kind of good interval of times. So I don't think it's stressful for now, but for good practice, and in case like the customer at some point need to add a new group that's gonna have a different format of trades or different habits of trading, I might if I want him to hire me again, you know. So if you need that, it's gonna take me less time to achieve what you want, and it's just also what if I code something for someone, I'm trying to make it in a way that's gonna be that in a way that I would like it to be, you know, modulable and keeping in mind that I might gonna work on it later to improve it. And we can also monitor the trade itself for the Gale system. If lose, no, if win stop, if lose double, etc. We also need a basic config ini with the current config of Telegram options. Please make me one, but also add the base unit to bet and Cortex API login. So I want to add the configuration related to Cortex in the configuration. Also, a basic base unit to start a trade with, and also a max martingale step to bet and Cortex API login. So that's what I want from what I've read, and also for this, I'll ask it for this. Could we also use the config ini or even the SQLite tree? No. Or some sort of templates for that particular group, and let me set a logic. Take again the trade example. It have 3 first lines with 3 first line. 2 first lines start with the clock. First line start with the clock emoji, I think, yeah. Emoji represent the time zone. Second line is a money bag emoji representing the minutes expiration. At this point, if the 2 first lines contain these emoji, we can suppose it's a valid trade. Then extract the time zone and minutes expiration. Then third line is instrument. Time. It seems to be start time, if I can call it this way, because it starts at 11:05 and time to 10. So yeah, time to 15. Confused. I don't remember what's the other. I need to find one. What's put? Put. It's all put. It's so shady. So confused. It's honestly as it seemed like a scam. Like it just martingale, pure speculation gambling. You just call anything, any tokens, any instrument. Do you know what I mean? Let's do it this way. I'll do it. So make me the change in the that function and also use sort some sort of link between a group ID message and its template. Also make the listening separated from the trading. Let's try this. See, so sometimes it's also it's kind of rewriting the old thing, which sometimes you don't want. But listen on a separate thread. Why this is a separate thread? Oh yeah, it's gonna be later. Execute trade. Pico text. Let's hope it's nice. Self monitor trade. Monitor trade. Get trade result. I'm not sure this is valid code from Picotex. Uh, it seems like it is. Did I get trade result? Or it was check win in that case. Okay, so what? I don't think ChatGPT actually, I mean, let's just do a simple test. Get trade result is not part of that library, so it was not. So yeah, I'll just give the old set of example. It seems like he made a valid trade format with the lines. If the first, if it's bigger than 3 lines, valid trade signals. You can see here that I asked to make a separate templates. Oh yeah, there is actually. If template is none, he put the ChatGPT put the templates in the code itself, but this is not what I wanted. It should get the templates here. This should be not hard coded and in the configuration in some way, you know. I think I have an idea. So I'm gonna tell him you did not look at. But I mean, maybe he's using something else. Picotex. Yeah, it is actually. It's the proper library. Into Picotex because it looked like this. Also, so you did not. Oh, so group ID. Okay, he said that emoticon, but this. integrated a proper template. It should look like return true if valid. How could I express that? Yeah, so it should look like group ID here in the config.ini. This way I can set a specific condition in the configuration for that group. This way I can set specific condition for that group and keep the code modulable by adding new group while not changing the code. Please also extract each data. Please also make that config determine if a valid trade, but also extract per a template. In that case, first line is time zone, second is x minutes accuracy, third is instrument time, direction, either put or the opposite. Make that part config ini 2. Yeah. Another code to make proper use of the PyCodex library, integrate the template logic, stable API, correct PCodex. Makes sense. Okay, so we have a base unit for Cortex, we have a max mercantile stuff for Cortex, we have a login, password, we are creating the Cortex client, we are creating the Telegram client, we set up the database connection, and we start the listener on a dedicated thread. Sorry. We should also, yes, I'll add that. So in that part, I want the execute trade. That's probably gonna return a trade ID. I would like it to be paired to the trades here. That seems better. Is valid trade, execute trade. If template is none, content split line, return eval template. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder what the configuration is gonna look like. And we can extract. See, ChatGPT didn't got it. Extract trade details. This template should be. This is not modulable and should be dedicated to that group. That's cool. Let's do it because this is work perfectly fine. The extra. Let's see if extract here. Also, it's starting to making sense. Um, in I would like to pair the trade ID returned by Cortex and add to the trade data in the SQLite tree as trade ID for future tracking. We're getting somewhere. So see, like I have like 5 iterations of that code. Nothing is tested yet, and there is lots of details that if because I know coding and I know like basic Python's logic, and I also created a code previously that was doing the same without I can understand that some stuff are not properly implemented, and it's fine like that. It's I think it's that's why I do not like where this old cursor thing is going toward. Um, we can extract extraction template. Okay, that sounds good. That's lovely. So we have templates for if it's a valid trade, and we have extraction. Ah, that's nice. Lovely. So this is exactly what I'm looking for. Let me just discard what I just changed. We have the initial code, and now I'm gonna straight up copy that. We can see what's different side to side. So we are adding Cortex login, database here, the listener, the threading itself. We are creating trade asynchronously and store the trade ID in the database. Um, Execute trade part. Change there is a valid trade per a template. Also, same thing for extracting the trade details. We remove that part. It's making sense a lot. I don't remember what skip messages is for, but we'll see. I think it's gonna be time to test it. So I'll stage that. Uh, Templates for groups if valid trade and extracting, storing trade ID in SQLite tree, and anything else that was that's most likely it. Okay, so it's been an hour. We have a code that should be tested in my opinion. I do not have a Cortex account right now. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna skip the executing part for now, but in the same time I want to test. Oh no, it's good. So we can still see if it's a valid trade and the data that was extracted. right? Which I think it's the first thing we need to test, and then we can try with play money and test account on Cortex. I just want to see it's gonna process, gonna mask this because that's gonna be the pure message, and like every message that are not necessarily a trade. And I'm gonna add debug here, extract trade data where this is working. That's in the create trade, yes. Got it. Yeah. If it's a valid trade. Yeah, that's making sense. I'm gonna pass. Should I? Worst case, I'm gonna delete the database. Um, function that initiate the database if not present, just output it and tell me where to call it. I know already where, but just for the sake of it. See, I told him to not output the full thing, but anyway. That was our basic configuration. Initialize database. Database initiated. Listener thread just after the thread. It's there. So we're just gonna add this as the first function. Oopsie. Concommit database initiated. We're gonna call it here. Gonna call it before anything. Create the Cortex. And we're gonna mask it for now. Because we do not need it. Execute trade is commented. Should be good. We don't want to interact with Cortex now. We just want to output the trade data. To trade created. We're gonna update. It's not the best, but sure. And we are extracting the trade here, and we're gonna output it here. Let's try this. So first there is problems. Teleton is not installed. I'll just install it real quick. For the Quotex thing, pretty sure I can just install it. Yeah. And we're gonna install the pquotex unofficial library. I'm gonna add a requirement Uh, pip install git. I'm not sure I can do this, but let's try it. So requirement is basically you can tell Python to pip install anything in that. I'm not sure this is gonna be valid, but let's leave it for now. Let's try it actually. Pip install requirements.txt. Oh yeah, it's working. That's good. Okay. Show requirements. What's the next step? Yeah, the initial database. Okay. So let's run before committing anything else. That should be fine. That should be fine. And base unit to start. We don't need that now. I'm gonna get my information from my previous code, so I'm just gonna stop the video for now. Yeah. Base config. Yeah. Where is the stop? Pause control tab. But I cannot pause. What is this? Uh-oh. Okay. Seems like I can't stop, so I can pause. I can't. It's okay. It's okay. Just get my information. So if I properly remember, uh, if I do properly remember, I think um, the way you get Telegram API app ID is you need to create your Telegram application. Hello. Uh-oh. That's bad. I don't. I sometimes I have problem with my Wi-Fi and Telegram. It seems like it's either my internet provider, but they don't like Telegram. I cannot open t.me links. It's weird. But mostly you go to Telegram to get the Telegram configuration stuff, um, which you create an app because we are not using the bot API of Telegram. What we want is, as a user, we are in a group or a channel. Sometimes it can be private and on invitation only. So you cannot really put a bot there the goal is it's using the same API than the Telegram client itself. So it's fetching all your conversation, and by the name of the group that I'm gonna get right now. Um, I don't think it's gonna work, but let's see. So it's just like listing all the conversation, and we want to get from a particular group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe, no, let's see. Example group, this template today. See the templates too. The way the template is, that's bothering me. Let's try it, but oh yes, yes, yes. If it's a digit, it's gonna be considered as ID straight up. If not, it's gonna get the entity. I would like to output this here, entity debug. Yeah. So time sleep. I'm just gonna add the delay here so it's not breaking the whole thing. I'm gonna store the. I'm gonna get the. It's not very practical. Okay. Can you add to this code a way that if main.p is run with main.p, yeah, so I just want this. We don't need to load everything, all that. Yeah, sure. You know what? I'll just make it this way. I'll just create an helper that's gonna simply output me the ID of the group. Gotta be much more practical. So customers gonna need to fetch the ID manually. I'm just, this is very lazy, but for now the customer just want that that group. I'm gonna work on it if needed at this point. Just call it helper.p. Helper.p. Get channel ID. And we're done with this. This is not a class. Okay. So that helper should connect to my Telegram and return the ID. And return the ID of that specific group. Okay, because character map to undefined. Huh? Oh, I think it's related to the emoji. Do not output the full code. Coding. Oh, okay. Okay. So just adding some encoding to the config because it seems the emoji was breaking it. Let's try this. Maybe configuration is not the best thing. It's not very practical, but I mean, it's maybe not the best format to store that template logic. It's right to stop at that. It's called. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, so basically I like the way the template and extraction were formatted, but I will store it in the database itself. It's gonna be much more simple. Uh, yeah, it just makes sense. Templates. We're just gonna add this to the initializing database. I'm yeah, I'm just gonna create actually the database right now. Uh, so a database should be, it's not. So initialize database, Telegram client. Let me just enter. What? tgbot configuring na 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 na. I'm not even starting the thing. I'm confused. It should just initialize the database. This is still Picotex asking me for configuration. That's so weird. I think it's related to this, but the client is not used at this point. I don't know if I actually trust that Pico texting because it seems weird um, that is asking the information. Okay, base unit. Okay, seems like configuration does not allow comments. So, okay, but there's an attribute con. My mistake. So we should have a database now. Thank you. I usually use Ubuntu to code, but I will get that program and we're gonna be able to install it. we're going to be able to view the database. Sorry. Where did I install it? Who is the company that... see. Makes sense. So we have the trade structure, the ID which is incremented, the chat ID which I'm not sure, I think it's the ID of the message itself, the group ID, the content, and the trade ID. We also have some template validation and extraction logic. Thank you, ChatGPT. I still find it weird that it's asking me the stuff from Cortex just by importing it, which bother me. Also that it's in Spanish, so I might consider using something else. That Picotex, sadly. Yep, I think we're gonna use this instead. I'm starting to get slow a bit. I'm gonna take a break, I think. Yep. Let's uninstall this. Sadly, I mean, there's something wrong about this, in my opinion. It should not be like that. Okay. Um, just gonna see it. So there is no need to have this. I'm gonna add it manually. So first, I want to get the ID of the group. Uh, channel name. So I've been logged in Telegram. I can see the session here that was created. We can ignore that in the Git because that's my personal Telegram account. If you want to come chat, Telegram client, get channel ID. Get entity. Missing one positional. Oh yeah. I see. Makes sense. Sorry guys. So once the I'm just masking this. So once the connection is done, it's gonna be preserved in the session anyway. Just gonna log in. Okay. So basically, I have an error here. Send the older message in a ring. Could not find an entity corresponding to magic. Blah 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 blah. Is it because the quotes? No. Let's try something else. We might be able for that. What I just remember is the issue is sometimes you do not have invite links to the channel because let's say it's private. That's why it's possible to just go over all the groups you are in, and well, see, this is not working. So this is not the proper format to get the. Let me just. Okay. No, check when. It's gonna be fine. That's gonna be fine. I'm gonna copy this. I'm not gonna initialize Cortex. We're gonna add the template fetching thing. Process message. We're gonna get process message here. Says what? Create trades. Says extract trade detail. This way. So we're gonna do it this way. There you go. ID and message content. Okay, so there's a name, no, for channel, get input entity. Okay. Because the goal of that would be technically to have multiple channel at some point with different template. But for now, we're gonna be good by just fetching. There you go. And let's just try it with the link to. It is the same. So we have the ID thanks to the helper that ChatGPT just created. Yeah, nothing else important here. Just gonna add something. Your channel here. We're gonna do this way. It's not. At some point, we're gonna loop. Until we might want to loop multiple channels. Channels digit. We can remove that. Actually, we could just get all the channels. We could either monitor multiple channels at the same time, but we are not there yet. There's a problem. Nah, it's okay. So we should be able to display the content of the trades and skip non-trades messages. I'm gonna add the template for that particular exchange. Create. Oh, this is so weird. This is data browser. What is this? What is this option? I don't need this. I want to add a template. Clear all. I'm so confused. What? Oh, sorry. The interface is not the same that I'm used to. That's why. The templates. The templates. Where is it? Okay. So that's gonna be my validation logic. And it's gonna be my extraction logic. Hopefully it respects. Yes. Not null. Constraint failed. What do they mean? That's making sense. Apply. I really don't like how it looks like, but yeah. So we have saved that. We're gonna write the change in the database. You can close the database here. Extraction logic, get template, process message, validation. Validation logic is here. Extract this. Okay, let's try. Secure running loop. I'm just gonna update here. Here is my latest code that should be working as intended. Running it make me an error. This is related probably with the thread and the fact that it's used in async yield, which make it asynchronous asynchronous request. Probably doesn't work well in a thread, or there might be something like that. Okay. Elementary to ensure that each thread gets its own event loop, so need to be run with another loop, starting inside separate thread. So you can run Telegram client directly in the main thread without threading. The main thread. I just want to point that I commented all the the Cortex thing, and it just removed it completely, which is not fine to me. I could still create a thread for the execution. We're just gonna start the listener here. Well, that's gonna be the solution to me. Yeah, let's try it this way. But because what I wanted is to be sure that executing a trade does not delay or does not stop because I want executing trade should also monitor it at some point. To we need to check that trade at some point after the 5 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever the delay is. So I would create a thread that's gonna wait it to stop. That's gonna wait the trade before closing itself. But while this is pending, I still want the bot to be listening for anything. So forgot that stuff. Where's the template thing? Where does he see this? Template. Oh yeah, that's true. Let me just get the latest one. extraction. Oh, actually, we don't need it anymore. As valid trade, we're gonna extract uh, sure. Yeah, makes sense. What do you mean? There you go. Trade or trade ID. This is not true because that happened in execute trade, which is gonna be asynchronously store trade. Okay. Probably again the way the template is done. Here is the content of the database latest code. Again, no need to output full code, just tell me what and where to fix. Here is the database. guess I can just drop it like that. Oh, is it? Okay. Let's just see what is the... Let's just debug the message. We should see something. And we do not. You know what? I'll just try something here. Skip messages. Because that was activated and I feel it might be related. Ready? Oh, that's not what I wanted. No, it's not that important. It's not important. Okay, so that's not a thing. If not eval validation logic. I mean, times the see, there is an empty message here. I saw it. Yeah. So it's basically an empty message. So what I'm gonna do, if I think it's this, I think this should work. empty. Some of it that are some of it are empty, some of them not passing validation. Invalid literal for int with base 10. So the way it's extracting the okay, wait, I fixed using, but now I get it's because the emoticon, the emoji. We're trying to explain with this line in the passing causing me to remove the symbol before trying to remove. But the template is in the database. Which is this part, I'm pretty sure. But I should have correctly. No, 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 no. See, ChatGPT does not understand at all. I don't know if it looked good, but sure. So we might have another issue with another emoji, which is fine. Okay, we got this. Okay. So, see, that trade was GBT cab call. That's a call, so that's been a long time because I didn't saw any call. Oh no, it's because I remember. Put. So that's in the configuration too. Instrument time direction, and here it's gonna be put, and here it's gonna be call. And okay, apply, right, change, put. I would like to have the other data as well. Trades details and extracting the data. Is it? Yeah, time zone, expiration minute, instrument direction. I would like it, please. Time zone. What was the format? Magic Trader. So, yes, let's try it. So I want the time zone per my template here. I want my expiration minute. I want my instrument, my time, and my direction. Do I? My instrument, my time, makes sense. To me, it makes sense. Structural detail, details. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, let's try this. Just gonna add the time sleep just to get the last one for now. Doesn't really matter. Oh, that's true because now the database is populated. Just gonna go back here. You can see all the trades here, which is kind of cool. Just gonna delete everything and we're gonna write it. I'm gonna go back just for the sake of it. Okay. I want to get that one. I want to see that trade where it is. -3. 11h is 11:05 call. So I think, yeah, the last trade that was there is this one. The trade output it. I mean, the full content here is saved like that. I'm not sure it's what I want, but still, yeah, it's that. It's the proper one. It's a put, but it should be a call. So, gonna delete that one again. And we're gonna go fix it in here. Okay. Sorry. Oops, no, that's not what I want. Oh, no. Yeah, so we get the -3, we get the 5 minute. I think we got it, probably. And there's just a problem with the put and call, probably again with the emoji. Call the template of the following line. Always, oh, so stupid. There is no need for that. There is no lower. Let's try this, but I think the emoji is still gonna be a problem. So I deleted the past trade that we saved. Pretty sure it's the emoji. Uh, Pretty sure it's the fact there is the red emoji. Can we get only the tree for the that case red box? Ah, I typed wrong. Emoji at the end. Extract the first word. Makes sense. Much more simple. Yep. Okay, gonna delete the trade again. It should be a put now. Exactly. So we are able to get pass message from that group by its ID. We can extract. Whoa. We can extract the data of the trade of that message. It's stored in a database. It makes sense for now. I'm gonna close the video for that part because what's left is executing the trade on Quotex, probably monitor it for the martingale for the team, and also add notification so the owner can receive notification on not necessarily new trades but more related to the Python aspect of it, like if there is an error somewhere or when a trade is actually placed on Quotex. So that will make sense for now. So we are able to extract messages from the desired group, even if it could be private or something like that, just by its ID, by being in the um, in the group. It's not a detected way of botting for Telegram for what I know. We will also add a time delay in that loop. Time sleep 30 seconds. So it basically we're getting the last 100 message um, each 30 seconds. We do not proceed trades that are already in the database, as you see here. Uh, if the trade details are extracted, we insert as a new trade in the database. I'm gonna fix the content of it to be more like that and not like current, which is the full message of the Telegram actually, for better sorting and if I need to reuse in the trade logic. So I also want to point that in 2 hours we created the core skeleton. I think I proved my point that if you are not used to coding or do not understand, like even I'm gonna be honest, I became lazy because of ChatGPT because most of the error are simple Python logics and like it's basic programmation coding knowledge. Let's just take also the template engine, the stupid mistake that was to lower the fact that basic Python function work. Like I have an idea in my head, it's now achieved, but we've been like through 10 iteration of the code. Also, ChatGPT is losing time most of the time by outputting all the trade. Sometimes he rename function, he remove commented code from my code. I think so. I just want to prove the point that yes, AI is very life changing for me as a programmer, but it also make me lazy and in some type of way prone to more stupid mistakes. So it's important to understand the code that is outputted from the AI and understand each part of it, so it can respect your ideas, but also not make you lose time by reiterating and changing stuff in it that should not be, or even be just not maintainable at some extent.